Okay, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever in the world you're connecting now. Thank you so much for attending this webinar session. I am your host, Elizabeth Romero, Senior Marketing Manager for Toronto School of Management. And we're going to learn more about how to study international hospitality management in Toronto, and very specifically, a very exciting program in international operations in hospitality. Next slide, please. So I'm going to be introducing our esteemed panelists. Why to choose Canada if you happen not to be in Canada right now? Why specifically Toronto? We're going to talk about and learn about the hospitality and tourism industry in Toronto. You're going to learn more about TSoM, us, Toronto School of Management, why study with us, about the industry in Toronto, our program, the program itself, co-op, which is the section of the program where you have to work, have amazing hands-on experience, and our career services, admission requirements, and we're going to answer any question you may have towards the end. Next slide, please. And to introduce our esteemed panelist, Eddie Sulaiman, Academic Manager of Hospitality and Tourism, Thabit Alomari, our esteemed faculty from Hospitality and Tourism as well, and Irene Lasker, our Career Services Manager. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us to be able to offer this very valuable information session. Next slide, please. So now we're gonna talk a bit about Toronto, Canada. If you happen to be somewhere else in Canada or in the world, and perhaps you have heard a lot about the Toronto. Toronto is not the official capital of the country, Canada, but it is definitely its financial capital. Canada is the choice destination for talented people from around the world for studying, conducting research, and potentially migrating. It's the #1 city for migration, and population in general in Canada has many natural strengths such as strong economic foundations, safe environment, and ever-growing multicultural population. Very, very multicultural. I will say more than 50% of people here were not born here. It's very common. Toronto, as I said, is the financial capital and is one of the most multicultural cities in the whole world, and offers a thick fabric of cultures, cuisines, and experiences. This diversity provides an excellent learning environment for hospitality and tourism students. Also, this field, the hospitality and tourism area, has an economical impact that contributes to the city's economical growth. It is a very important economical area in the city. And this contribution is not limited to accommodations and transportation, which we're going to learn a bit more. Hospitality and tourism is not only about hotels. There is a vast number of employment opportunities in this field, which is very exciting. We'll learn all about it in more detail later on. And also 96% of international students recommend Canada as a study destination, and 60% of international students plan to apply for permanent residence in Canada. That's how much they like being here during their studies, so that's very good to know. So that means, yeah, they had a great time so much that they wanted Canada to become their permanent home. Next slide, please. And then, then we're going to learn more about the hospitality and tourism field in Toronto.
Right. Good morning, everybody. I guess it's my turn. This is Thabit here talking. If you don't mind, if I just go back a little bit to the previous slide, I just want to highlight a few additional points. That is okay. Because I guess anyone trying to come to choose Canada or study in Canada, I think the obvious question will be why to choose Canada and why studying in this fantastic place. As Canada is a target for not only students, it's also a target for researchers, for people trying to even come study and live. As you mentioned earlier, of course, Canada is a country with a strong economy. It is a safe place. It has a lot of people from different backgrounds. And I would like just to address these like 5 areas or 5 reasons. And I think as a student, you're gonna first think about the great quality of life in Canada. It is a country that's known for its standard of living. It's a high standard of living. Canada, of course, has a lot to do for human rights, and they believe in fairness, and you enjoy, in fact, the peaceful and stable life in Canada. There are different actually studies highlighted how Canada rank among different countries around the world, and Canada ranked like 3rd in the world when it comes to quality of life. So that is one thing. The other important thing, and I guess this is important for every student, which is the quality of education. Canada is a top-notch when it comes to education and research. Of course, there are a lot of different schools, as you just mentioned. There are over 8,000 colleges programs, more than this in universities. And I know there are 7 universities in Canada are among the top 200 universities around the world. The other important thing that we should also address when we talk about Canada, students come to Canada because of its diversity. The country is a really mix of a lot of people from different backgrounds. We have over 200 different kind of backgrounds in the country. We have more than 200 languages. We have 70 indigenous languages. This is kind of information from the official statistics of the government. Another important thing also students gonna think about is the affordability and opportunities coming with education, and if you're gonna do kind of a life in Canada. So studying in Canada is not more, it's not kind of really that difficult at the beginning for students. There are a lot of accessible methods that the government has done. And if you compare studying in Canada to other countries like Australia, for example, the UK or the US, you will find Canada has more kind of give. And I think there are a lot of scholarships available if you are planning to expand your education. The obvious thing that people always think about is the ROI, return on investment. So I'm going to spend money, come to live in Canada. So am I going to get back something? In fact, I just want to highlight, this is very important, the accreditation and the type of education you get here. It is recognized, and as you just heard earlier, the 60% of people who come to study in Canada, they actually become permanent residents and they live in Canada. Next slide, please. So I think Toronto is an important city, but before we say talk about Toronto and highlight the importance of Toronto, I think the important thing about Canada is of course, as you just mentioned, Canada is a great economy. Canada has a lot of hospitality when it comes to students coming to study tourism and hospitality. There are a lot of amazing things in the country to discover and to see. Right. So among the things I'd like to address here, the city of Toronto. If you arrive in Toronto, you're going to see a lot of amazing places, starting from, of course, Toronto has so many to give. The amazing places around you, from the Royal Ontario Museum to the CN Tower to Toronto Central Island. So many different places that you can enjoy, not only studying but also enjoying. What's else? Also the festivals, the fun activities you will find in Toronto. There are over 50 big events every year that takes place in Toronto. And as a students coming to study in tourism or hospitality, this is really important because you're going to reflect on what you take in theoretical perspectives on real life. There are so many different accommodation places. There are so many different restaurants, bars and cafes, over 36,000 rooms available in the city of Toronto, over 75,000 restaurants and food and beverages places. That is amazing to give students, again, a real life first-hand experience when it comes to living in Toronto. Students are choosing or decide to come to Canada, more specifically to Toronto. They're going to be in a business hub, actually. They're going to learn more about business from also the environment around them. Toronto has the Metro Toronto Convention Center, of course. It has also the business district, which is very important to that accommodate not only tourism and hospitality. You will find a lot of different industries, a lot of economic sectors involved in this business environment. When it comes to culture and art, that's not exception, because Toronto, if you like culture, if you like the subsectors of culture, music, food, it's all available. You're gonna find it all around you. So many different theaters. We do have a lot of artists who come and actually choose to live in Toronto. So if you are a student with creativity, you are welcome to Toronto, because you're gonna basically have the environment where you will be able to study and perform whatever you like to do. The city is very accessible. Getting around in Toronto is not that difficult, so you can always have the public transportation is available. Of course, we have two airports. One of them is the largest airport in the country, Pearson International Airport, not far away from the city. It's about half an hour or so, depend where you live or where you're going to move. And then you have the important thing for some people, which is the kind of recreational part, because not only work, it's not study. It's also you have a kind of a peace of mind where you will enjoy the nature and the relaxation. And Toronto is very, very rich with different places that offer these kind of services. For example, you have the High Park. You have also even a zoo within the park. So if you like even the waterfront areas, it's available. You can always go have a walk, enjoy the beach if you like, and do some fun activities. The last thing I just want to address here is the kind of the location of Toronto and its approximate distance from Niagara. Niagara Falls is the #1 attraction in Canada, and it's one of the best wonders that you might visit. It's not far away. You can have even kind of a weekend. You can go and enjoy and come back to your school. So these are some of the reasons why Canada, why Toronto, more specifically. And I guess in conclusion, I would say Toronto, it's not just a place to study. It is a place to come and live, explore, of course, enjoy. And there are so many international students in this city, and I think you get gonna take a lot of memories with you. I'll leave it here. Maybe I'll come back at a later stage. We discuss more about the programs.
Thank you so much, David. Yeah, indeed, it is amazing how many events and places. I mean, 75,000 restaurants. That's like, I don't know how many years that you can go and like going and trying a different place to eat without repeating any food, meal, or coffee. That is completely amazing. Yeah, I can testify. Toronto is an amazing city. I have been living here for almost 10 years and I absolutely love it. And yeah, so if you are interested in this field and you're looking for options to study a great program so you can become a professional and get hands-on experience, we wanted to introduce to you a bit to learn more about us, as they call us TSoM, which is Toronto School of Management. We are a private career college. We offer a broad range of industry-relevant programs, not only in hospitality and tourism, also in business, data analytics, digital marketing, cybersecurity, and accounting. We have a range of programs in hospitality and tourism field. So if you're interested after this session, please do not hesitate to contact us, because we have several programs with different lengths and different English level requirements. So yeah, keep that in mind. Also, our mandate is to provide a comprehensive and balanced mix of programs and services that support the success of our students' work and life. That's our main goal. Our vibrant Toronto campus is situated in the heart of downtown Toronto. Our downtown is pretty big, actually, and our location, to be honest, is amazing. I mean, it's not anywhere in downtown Toronto, it's in real downtown. I don't know if you have heard the very famous Dundas Square, which is like the Canada's Times Square. It is only about 7 minutes walking distance from this place. So that's how amazing our location is. And just across the street from the subway, which is one of the main ways of transportation, and also the famous streetcars pass by right in front of our campus as well. So it is an amazing location with so many places, shopping malls, etc., and businesses around you. So you are really going to experience and take the most out of Toronto by coming to our campus, to our classes. And of course, we are the business and culture hub. Okay, next slide, please. So why study at TSoM? As I mentioned about our downtown location, amazing location. Many of our programs are powered by renowned industry learning partners such as Amazon Web Services, Diploma. In the case of hospitality and tourism, our faculty use the InRow software. You may learn a bit more about it per Lego. We have LinkedIn Learning and many more. We provide career services, which you will learn more about it from Irene later on, and called placement opportunities in a field related to the program of studies. We have a strong network of over 130 plus co-op partners, very diverse student body from 100 countries. And this is 100 countries. I mean, overall, since the beginning of TSoM, we have had students from over 100, almost 30 countries in general. And right now in our campus, you can get to meet students literally from 100 countries right now studying in our campus. That's how amazingly diverse it is, our amazing student body. And of course, also students from here, Canada, permanent residents, etc. Our faculty, of course, is very qualified with amazing industry experience. And then to continue for the next slide. And I mean, about us in general, as everything that I mentioned, all of our mission and vision, we have been very proudly accomplished on delivering all of these amazing advantages to our students, so much that we have been very honored to receive all of these awards and recognitions. These are just a sample of all of the awards and recognitions that we're very humbled to have received from different very esteemed organizations. For example, the Reader's Choice from the Toronto Star, very famous newspaper here in Toronto. Education and Training Award by Corporate Vision, which, by the way, is not here, but we just won, being the institution that has the work and study program of the year. Just this is very recent, just some days ago we announced this. So if you're looking for a place to study and work in Toronto, Toronto School of Management is definitely the place for you. So yeah, we're very proud of this. You can learn more about this on our website if you're curious about it. And yes, you can see from our student body also, I was mentioning about our diversity. We have over 2,000 students on campus. And yeah, about all of the different programs. We're very excited for you to learn more about this international operations in hospitality management co-op program, which has this very, very special hands-on job experience component. So yes, please move to the next slide. I believe the next section will be for Eddie to explain about our international hospitality management program operations.
Great.
Please, next slide.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Welcome, everyone. It's with an absolute pleasure and excitement to introduce our latest program that's been added to our, hospitality and tourism management program at Toronto School of Management. And I would like to introduce you to the Diploma in International Hospitality and Tourism Management. Diploma in International Hospitality Operation Management co-op program. This program is a 2-year-long program that has a 36 weeks of in-class instructions in addition to 36 weeks of co-op and a 25 weeks of scheduled break. And this total length will be totaling to 97 weeks, and it will be available for both the daytime schedule and the evening schedule. So the daytime schedule, it doesn't necessarily mean in the morning, but it could be in the morning or afternoon. It depends on how the scheduling and the classes are being allocated. But in the evening will always remain, between 6 to 9, Monday to Thursday, and the daytime would be anytime between, let's say, 9 a.m. to 12:30 or 12:30 to 3:30. It really depends. The delivery mode of this program will be hybrid, which is a mix between the online and the in-person classes. So students will be able to attend classes, scheduled classes in person from their classroom, or could be online. And we have also what is known as the asynchronous and the asynchronous component. Later on, I will bring back, our esteemed faculty, Dr. Thabit Alomari, to explain more about the asynchronous and the synchronous component. So students will be also studying 2 modules at the same time for 6 weeks. So let's say, the student will be taking module 1 on Monday and Wednesday. One of them would be online, the other one would be in person, and we'll be taking also module number 2 on a Tuesday and Thursday. Again, one of them would be online and the other one would be in person. So what I would like to do also go over the modules that are included in our program. If I may ask for the next slide, please. Thank you very much. So the one of the modules which is considered as fundamental, which is the Introduction to Hospitality and Tourism, this module really lays the foundation and introducing students to the dynamic world of hospitality and exciting domain of tourism. As you know, H&T is not limited to lodging, resorts, motels, transportation, but also, as Thabit had mentioned already, we have attractions, we have gaming, we have events happening, taking place. There is entertainment, shopping, and there's so much more. And we haven't even discussed the food and beverage. We haven't discussed the transportation and so on. The next module would be also the hospitality career readiness. Throughout this module, this is where students will be not only learning, but also will be mentored by the faculty in learning what are the best practices to land the dream job. What are the best practices to create your resume? What are the best practices to create a cover letter? How to approach those employers, and what would be the most effective way and efficient way to land that dream job? Throughout their experience. Generally speaking, faculty who teach the hospitality career readiness, they report at least 2 to 3 students who are, just joined TSoM, were able to find jobs on their own just by learning, how to create resumes properly and how to reach out to those employers on their own without, any assistance from someone else. So, technically, this module will kind of let's say, prepare students to be ready to join the workforce in the industry in Toronto. The third module will be front office operations. The front office, comes mainly from the hotel or resort management, or any position that any company that has a front desk position. And as you know, the front desk agent or the front desk department is considered as the command center that directs various departments for smooth, effective, and efficient operations, where students learn the ins and outs of front office operations, ensuring seamless guest experience. Our latest addition to the front office operation, we have introduced and partnered with a service provider called Inroad. This is where we actually sat down and we created a virtual hotel for TSoM. And students will be able to practice and learn how to make reservations externally, how to make a reservation. Let's say if you receive a phone call, how to enter those data, how do you generate reports, generate financial reports, managing inventory. What do you do, let's say, if you have a room that's being booked or extended stay, and then you have another reservation coming? So what are the ins and outs? How do you manage those difficult situations? So through Inroad, this is a fantastic, hands-on experience where students can actually practice those scenarios and prepare them for applying, let's say, to work at a hotel. And the moment they say, yes, I do have experience in inventory management, generating reports, etc., then that would be, a hard skill that they will learn also in addition to their theoretical and soft skills learned throughout the rest of the modules. Of course, not to mention the food and beverage operations throughout this module. It will shift students towards learning all about the culinary arts, the beverage management, preparing students to exceeding dining expectations. If you visited Toronto or you've been in Toronto, you realize that we have different styles of food service. Comes from fast food. It could be from street vendors. It could be from fine dining. You name it. It's an international and very diverse city. So therefore, you will have different types of even service styles that students will also get to learn all about in this module. In addition to the food and beverage operations, we have the food sanitation, safety, and health. So it's very important to emphasize that students must learn that safety is paramount in terms of when you handle let's say food, or let's say you handle a specific liquid that's contained in a bottle that's not being labeled properly, so to avoid any cross-contamination or potentially jeopardizing someone's health. And so throughout this module, it will cover the food and safety protocols, the health standards in general operation settings, and Ontario specifically, especially the introduction of Smart Serve. I'm not sure if you're aware, but in Ontario, as an example, the government mandates every person who works in an establishment that serves alcohol to be certified with Smart Serve. Though students will learn about Smart Serve, but if they wish to proceed with obtaining their own certification, they can do so because they already learned a little bit about it throughout this module, and they know all about responsible and safe serving of alcohol, and what are the limitations. How do you stop serving someone without having any let's say issues with refusing service. Refusing service is not really legal, but if there are grounds of suspicion of someone is being intoxicated, by all means you are allowed to stop or refuse serving someone. So they will learn more about this throughout the Smart Serve. Of course, food handlers, how do you handle food safely? What are the safe temperatures? What are the types of cross-contamination, whether biological, chemical, or physical, and how do you avoid foodborne illnesses, etc. And additionally to WHMIS, which is the Work Hazardous Information Management System, which is a standard across Canada, and this is where you will learn, where students will learn the appropriate labeling of any liquid contained in a bottle, to avoid wrongfully consuming a liquid, not knowing what it is. You might think it's water, but could be something more dangerous than that. And at the same time, it will maintain the well-being of guests, the employees, in accordance with the local laws, and ensuring safe practices at all times. Of course, customer service. Students will master the art of guest satisfaction. As students, they will learn how to create unforgettable experience and how to handle challenging situations. They will learn the different levels of customer to business relations. What are the stages? And sometimes it could be as simple as how do you apologize sincerely. That's a skill that students needs to learn, especially if they come from a different culture that perhaps customer service not as paramount as it is in Canada. Organizational behaviors in hospitality and tourism. They will learn about and understand the dynamic of teamwork, leadership styles, and as they are crucial in a very fast-paced hospitality world. Sometimes some students might be hesitant to command something or demand something, and there's a way to reach out to someone, asking them to do something for you, as an example, without sounding wrong or offensive or anything like that. So, and this comes from the Canadian work experience that employers always look for, and time management, coming to work on time, leaving on time. If you go for your 15 minutes break, it's a 15-minute break, not a 16-minute break, because you multiply that minute by how many employees you have in that organization, and it will have a financial impact on the company. So students will also learn about this, certainly. Hospitality accounting, we can't deny that the hospitality in general, any business, has a financial reasons, and they will learn about the financial ropes of the industry, ensuring efficient management of their resources. Business environment, where they will navigate through complex business landscape and develop the skills to adapt and thrive. They will learn about the industry insight, strategic thinking, regulatory compliance, global representation, entrepreneurship, and sustainability. And also with the introduction of project management, this is a new module added in addition to the business environment, where students will learn, not necessarily be qualified to apply for a PMP certification, but rather they will learn about the stages of projects. Everything that you do throughout your life or throughout your operation, it could be you will have, let's say, a micro project running in the background or throughout your operation, and this is where students will gain expertise in managing or experience in managing hospitality projects efficiently, all the way from planning to executing, monitoring, and controlling. And if it's necessary to be closing, then by all means. So that will become a project. Personally speaking, along with another academic manager for IT and cybersecurity, Gabriel Cruz, both of us are PMP certified project managers, project manager professionals certified by PMI. And whenever we meet students throughout this module sometimes, and they show interest in PMP in their future endeavor, we always kind of focus our attention to them in that specific area and guide them through what are the steps and stages they need to achieve in order for them to be qualified and sit for their exam and be certified. As you know, now the moment they become, let's say, they went to the direction of PMP with that hospitality management experience, then suddenly their career will shift still within the hospitality and tourism, and it will be more focused in the project management. This is where you can start, planning for, let's say, a new hotel, a new resort, a new, let's say, destination. Like look at Saudi Arabia with their giga projects that's happening. NEOM, Line City. There are so many projects happening right now, so they become part of that planning committee, or could be, part of the pre-opening team or the handover team or the operation team. So you can think about the magnitude of the hospitality and tourism and its potential of employment in the future. The module number 11 will be the introduction to marketing and branding. This module is designed to provide learners with the skills to build a customer profile and analyze the digital market. The module will enable students to understand the principle of digital advertising, the key elements of branding, and competitive analysis. Of course, there's so much more into this. I can't really summarize it in a couple of minutes. And also lastly will be information management, where this module will offer an overview of information management of data, decision making, database, and content management. So this will be the list of 12 modules that students will be taking as a theoretical portion. Again, they will be studying 2 modules at the same time. Once they pass and complete all those 12 modules, then students will be eligible to go to co-op, and this is where we'll pass it on to the career services department. And then if the student did not land the job already, the career services department can give advice, and they can give anything, any support available from their end to make sure that the student completes their co-op successfully. But before we go to co-op, what I would like to do is bring our esteemed faculty, Dr. Thabit Al-Umari, to explain a little bit more about the synchronous component and the hybrid delivery of their modules. How does it affect, or not? Let's not say affect, but how does it complement their experience at TSoM in Canada in general, and have that work lifestyle or personal lifestyle balance? Thabit, I'll pass it on to you.
Oh, you're on mute, Dr. Thabit.
All right, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So I guess thank you, Eddie. Thank you. The first thing you just want to actually differentiate between asynchronous and synchronous, just to make it clear to those who don't know what do we mean by synchronous learning and asynchronous learning. The asynchronous learning is more like independent, while the synchronous learning is basically you learning with the instructor. And it's a great idea that you have both options available, since the idea is to give more relaxed environment to the students. The idea is to give them the opportunity to practice things in a way that they are comfortable. Especially, we have students, they will be having kind of a job on the side, and they will be busy doing some kind of other things. So we want to make sure that we have both options. So the synchronous and asynchronous is kind of an excellent option, which is differentiates some schools from other schools. So this is a reason why you should think about, I guess, Toronto School of Management. So how do we make sure that our models is up to date? How make sure that the material we give to students is kind of the latest, and at the same time it's the exact materials that they should take. We do this in different ways. We start with updating all models with the relevant learning and relevant information. We do this in a regular basis. We always kind of improve all these kind of materials. We add what is necessary to be added, and we change some kind of outdated information, as we are moving very fast in this world, and we see a lot of new things coming up, and we have to update our models. So that is one thing. The other thing is the instructors at TSoM. The instructors are actually specialized in their fields. We do have a really excellent team of different instructors, and they have a real kind of real world experience, not only academic. We do have a lot of qualified, of course, instructors and experts in the field as well. The other thing, we invite people from the industry around us, and we ask people to come and talk and share some kind of like a guest speaker gonna talk more about kind of the role as a professional, and that is going to link students to a real life examples. And we always make sure that we use what is available in the market to support the learning process. We do use I personally use the LinkedIn Learning, the Enroll, of course, as Eddie said. We do have a lot of kind of directions that we try to integrate into the both synchronous and asynchronous learning. The important thing that I want to highlight here is the use of technology. Now, of course, the way we deliver these models, it's by using what is available technologies. If you go to our classrooms, you're going to see how it's actually designed, how it's actually prepared to have the best experience for our students. So that is one thing, one side of technology. But so the other side is we integrate our models with the latest technologies as well. Today, I guess we are witnessing the fourth industrial revolution. We had so far we had 3 industrial revolutions, and now we are at the 4th one. Man invented machine, then we had electricity, and then we had the internet. And I lived before the internet and post the internet. I can tell you the difference is huge. The amount of information we have nowadays is so. Today we are witnessing a major transformation, and I guess you're gonna see a lot of amazing things. And it could be seen as positives, or could be also associated with some kind of negative aspects. But we make sure that we integrate our material with these latest technologies. Latest technologies, we mean a lot of different things: Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, blockchain, big data, robots, and so many different technologies, all of them coming together. Imagine how tourism gonna be impacted. We teach tourism and hospitality. How is this gonna impact, of course, teaching students? How is this industry gonna actually change? I remember things before COVID was completely different than what we have right now. So traveling and tourism activities before COVID is something, and after COVID is something, and this is something we try to reflect on and integrate into the material as we go. What else? I actually have different things that I want to talk, but I don't want to take a lot of time. The important thing I think also about like our students and looking after them. It's not only about the material, it's not only about, like, it's about the students, what they need and what they want. And we try to actually make sure that the schedule they have match with their expectations, with their circumstances as well. Because you don't want to just teach and students are not in the mood. You want to teach and you want to make students engaged, in fact. So this is why we have the synchronous and asynchronous. So asynchronous learning will help students to navigate things, go back and view things at the time they want, and of course do things on their kind of relaxed schedule. That is things I wanted to address, but there are so many things we can discuss. There are kind of questions and answers section. If you have a question, I can always very happy to answer any question. I encourage everyone watching this to look seriously at the website of our school's website. Has a lot of information about what we have addressed in this kind of a short webinar. A lot of information about Canada, as well as why you should study in Canada, maybe more about Toronto, as well as information about the models and what you could benefit from studying at TSoM. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Yeah, definitely this program does seem very fit to be located in Toronto, and with us, Toronto School of Management, an institution that really aims, as you said, to be really up to date with today's industries, new standards and processes and softwares that are being used. It is very important, and it's such an international city, right? So there are many opportunities for sure for our students. Not only to experience the city itself, they will be learning a lot from their classmates, being such an international student body, which for sure will add even more skills to show off, either if they go back to their home country or any other country in the world. I will guess that someone that is interested in hospitality, in tourism, I can see that person either living here or anywhere in the world. So yeah, they will learn a lot, not only from the Canadian culture, but about many other cultures, which takes us to the co-op component, which it is a very important part of this program, right? It's very lengthy. Actually, it's 36 weeks of co-op. And because of this, also, we have our amazing department, Career Services, and Irene is going to explain to us all of the services and support that you can expect from TSoM here. Thank you. Go ahead, Irene.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. It's not only the co-op placement, it's starting from the beginning of the classes. International students are accustomed to diverse job market demands, and we try to equip the students with the knowledge and the skills necessary to understand the Canadian labor market, create resume that stands out to Canadian employers, help them students to succeed in the job interviews, and much more right from the start of the program. So our department, through the department, students have access to career guidance and career co-op opportunities from the first day of class. This includes helping students in developing job seeking skills through workshops and individualized preparation. Students can schedule a meeting with us to work individually on their skills, to conduct a targeted job search, employer search, setting up interviews with employers. We also bring to students virtual and in-person job fairs and information sessions with employers. And I would say you cannot afford to miss these events because this is the unique access to the information about the organizational goods, services, applications for the job opportunities, the application selection and interview processes of the same companies. These events are a great opportunity to meet potential employers and recruiters, connect with other job seekers by exchanging tips where to look for employment, how to be hired. Okay, through the program, Career Services brings a variety of workshops to students on a topic such as resume and cover letter, creating and using LinkedIn for the students' advantages, job search strategies, confidence building for job search success, job interviewing, co-preparation, Q&A sessions with a certified immigration consultant to answer all immigration-related questions that students have. We deliver these workshops twice a week, so plenty of opportunities for students to join the events. We have lots of resources available for students. We have online resources on our educational platforms. We have a Facebook group where we offer students resources and job opportunities. We collaborate with many platforms, ICE Empowers, Skills Without Border, Career Foundation, to offer students additional support in securing jobs. We offer students self-paced modules where they can learn on their own time how to create resumes and how to prepare for the co-op term. And of course, we provide full support to students during the co-op term, where we guide them from the start of the term to the successful completion of the program. And when it is needed, we offer liaison, and we monitor the process and documentation required, and answer all students' inquiries throughout the co-op term. Next slide, please. So why to choose the co-op program? I will quickly go over the benefits, which comparing to traditional education, in-class education, consists of the co-op portion, which gives you the opportunity to practice the skills that you obtain in class. That gives you an opportunity to be exposed to organization, to explore how they structured, how they managed, give you the taste of how it will look like to work in the industry that you choose. Ask questions, develop connections which potentially can lead to future employment. And of course, the co-op learning helps students in their informed career making decision and eases to transition from the college to the working world. Next slide, please. So students of the International Hospitality Operations Management Program can find themselves working in hotels and resorts, restaurants, travel agencies, in event management companies, cruise lines, airlines and airports, convention centers, travel technology companies, entertainment venues, spas. They can find themselves in the food and beverage industries, property management, retails, and souvenirs. Next slide, please. The International Hospitality Operations Management Program, with its lengthy co-op term, which is 36 weeks, is about 8 months, prepares you to step into the supervisory roles of the hospitality industry under these national occupational classification codes, which are 0631, 6521, 6525. Today, the minimum wage in Toronto is $15.50, but as of October, which is two weeks away from us, the minimum wage is going to be raised to $16.55, and potentially the estimated earning while you study during the theoretical modules, you are able to work 20 hours per week, and you are potentially can earn about $12,000. Plus, we have scheduled breaks. Okay, we have before the co-op term, throughout the program, you have scheduled breaks, and you potentially can earn $16,550 calculating on the based on the minimum wage, as well as the co-op term, where you potentially can earn working full time more than $23,000, as you can see. So in total, even starting from the minimum wage, you potentially can earn over $50,000. That, of course, is the minimum when we are talking on a minimum wage, but with the support of Career Services Department, where we teach you how to better present yourself and your skills, you are able to, of course, secure positions with more than minimum wage, which is our goal, of course, to help you do that. And we are going to support you throughout your journey with Toronto School of Management, and we will help you succeed no matter what path you pursue. Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. Back to you.
Okay, I hear. You can hear me now, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Irene. Yeah, definitely very important for our students to learn about all of the resources that they will have available with themselves for the career services, which I mean, of course, this program will attract many students who want to work. And as you mentioned, they don't have to wait until their co-op portion. It's starting because international students can actually work since their very first day of class, can work completely legally, usually part-time, because they have to focus, of course, on their studies as well, but they can work part-time, and of course, this will be paid work, and then their co-op, if it is a paid co-op. There are two types of co-ops, depending on which one the student finds. If it's paid, yes, they will get paid at least 16.55 per hour. But if it is not paid, also, I mean, it is amazing that they are getting this job experience as well, right? Instead of being sitting down in a classroom, even before graduating, and when you start looking for those full-time jobs, you are not just a recent graduate, but you can actually add to your resume all of that job experience, actual experience of what you achieved at your co-op portion of the program, which will give you a very competitive advantage compared to other graduates from other programs that may not have the co-op portion. So I find this super, super valuable. And of course, you can earn, you know, during your part-time jobs to help you with your usual daily expenses, of course, that you will have your living expenses as any person living in Toronto. So this will be very, very helpful.
Yes, if I may add, so students coming to Toronto School of Management, they receive two permits. So they receive a study permit under which they are allowed to work 20 hours per week legally, completely legally, during the weeks that they have classes, and then during the scheduled break they can work full time, which is normally 40 hours per week. And then they have also a work permit which they will be using during the co-op term, which allows them to work full time.
Yeah.
And they can, during the co-op term, they can basically play with two permits to have a job related to the program, which they can take it for the co-op. They can also have additional non-co-op related job, which they can still continue working for the 20 hours per week under the study permit. So there are lots of potential, lots of job opportunities. We want to bring you the best opportunities. That's why we want to bring you up to the Canadian job market level as soon as possible. So when you start your classes, don't wait until the last moment. Come to us immediately, so we can work with you to level you up to the Canadian market and let you in the best jobs. Yes.
Yeah, to the Canadian standard and above. Definitely.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Irene. Lynn, could you please pass the next slide? Okay, so of course, there will be an admission requirement. I'm gonna go over this very quickly as time is running out, but you will have an idea of the admission requirements. Next slide, please. That you will be required when applying to this program. So here you can have an idea of the fees. So the program, as we mentioned, 36 weeks in class, including 25 weeks of scheduled breaks, as Irene was mentioning, 36 weeks co-op. Great news is that we don't have only 2 or 3 intakes, as most higher institutions have. We have 6 intakes, which are great, which give a great flexibility to international students. Sometimes there may be, we hope not, but like, let's say, something delayed your first option, so then you don't have to wait 6 months or a year to start. You can either instead of starting in January, you can start in March. Actually, if you want to be here this next year, 2024, even if it's in September 2024, we advise you to start applying right now, right away, because it takes a while, right? All the admission process, your visa application process, depending on from which country you are, all the documents that you need to gather, it can take a while. So yes, we advise you to really, really take advantage of the season that we are now. If you happen to be in Toronto, our next intake, as you can see, is November. And yeah, if you want to be here in 2024, any of these months, start your application right now. Also, the good news is that, as you can see, we have amazing discounts for our international students. And next slide, please. And yes, so we may have students from different countries or either residing right now in Toronto. So to learn more about the very specific fees that will apply to you or admission requirements, etc., please do not hesitate to contact us at info@torontosom.ca. We'll show you the email address shortly. So a student advisor of ours can contact you and assess your whole very personal situation. But overall, you need a minimum of Ontario Secondary School Diploma or the equivalent, which is what most people know as high school, to be at least 18 years of age and pass a Wonderlic test, which is a very usually all students pass once they're here. Our student advisors can explain a bit more to you about this process. Also very important, if you happen to be from a country that officially doesn't have English as a native language, you can either show us an IELTS test, official test, academic IELTS, or equivalents such as TOEFL, Duolingo, etc., etc. I believe for this program is 5.5 in IELTS score. Or the good news is that if you haven't done this test, you can also do our own internal, completely free English test. And if you happen not to pass, also we do have an amazing EAP English for academic purposes program, which you can also take to reach the minimum level of English you will need to start this program. Okay, and then of course pass the Wonderlic test. Next slide, please. So then the application process, do not worry about it. We have amazing student advisors. Actually, some of them even speak another language that is not only English, so they may even help you further in another language. You may inquire about this. So they will guide you through all the process. You will need to fill out an application form, gather the documents. Usually is a photocopy of your passport, which is usually your international official ID, the photocopy of your high school diploma, translations if needed, etc. You will do the Wonderlic test and complete and officialize your enrollment, the contract, offer of admission, pay the deposit for your letter of acceptance. Then you will start the process of your study permit. We do have partnership with One Vasco, which is an official government visa application organization that advises students on how to go through all of the process. So don't worry, we can refer to you to any of these organizations, because not only them, but we also have partnership with different people that you can contact in case that you need help with this very important process, because we do want you to be able to be here in Toronto with us in case that you need it, of course. Inform admissions of visa approval, then pay the remaining of the fees or any installments due, enroll and start your classes. Next slide, please. And then, yes, as I was mentioning, oh, good news. For International Hospitality and Operations Management, the proof of English will be an IELTS 5.0 if you're accustomed to the levels of IELTS, the minimum being, of course, 1 and then the maximum 9. So as you can see, it is not too high, but if you want to inquire about other equivalences, if you happen to have another official English test, you can inquire about it as well. Next slide, please. Furthermore, talking about English, we also have language school partners. So if you happen to be studying or you had studied at any of these other English institutions, we do recognize their English levels. So we will see which English level you completed at the school, and we will see if it matches the minimum level according to an IELTS 5.0, for example, and then you can just give us the certificate of completion as a proof of English level. Next slide, please. The Wonderlic test will be a simple 8-minute free test that will comprehend 30 questions, 2 chances of achieving the required score. Students will receive a link to complete the test after application and documents are sent. And it's applicable for students that have not graduated from a high school in Canada specifically. We can also send you some practice test links. You can ask your student advisor about this. Next slide, please. This is just a bit about how it will be the process to assess your English level in the case that you don't have an official English test score such as IELTS. This is an online assessment which will be completely free for you, which is called the GCAS test. Next slide, please. And then with this, we complete this information session officially. If anyone has any question for now, you can drop them in the chat or in the questions section. If Lynn, you can show the next slide so our audience can take a note on our contact information. You can call us directly to our phone number. Check out our website, or the preferable way will also to be to email at info@torontosom.ca, which is our main email contact address. And a student advisor will be in contact with you to help you to process your application, or beforehand to answer any other question you may have regarding the fees, regarding the program, the process, if we have places for the intake that you wish to take, etc., etc. So I'm gonna double check if we happen to have any question right now. If you feel shy right now, or you're gonna think of anything specific right now, please do drop us an email, and we will be happy to answer any questions you may have about the program, about Toronto, about the institution, TSoM, about the application process, admission process, payments, etc., etc. Thank you so much, everyone, for your attention. We look forward to having you as a student very soon, or this coming year, or even the next one. And thank you so much, Dr. David, Irene, and Eddie, for your very valuable inputs and information about this amazing program. Yes, it is a great opportunity for anyone looking to study international operations. And yes, thank you so much, everyone, for your attention.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
great
you very much.
rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.